waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it.
Check 1, 2.
And are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
And are not afraid to say it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show on InTheMixRadio.com every Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. I am A.J. Woodson, along with my partner in crime, Black by Popular Demand, Damon K. Jones, and the lovely Lorraine Lopez in the house. Yes. So, everybody just got to say, if you haven't gotten it yet, make sure you get your July 2018 issue of the Black Westchester newspaper. Definitely full of information. Our first real investigative report. It's flying off the shelves of everywhere we're putting it, so make sure you get it. But if you do not find you a physical copy, you can go to blackwestchester.com, click on the last tab, BW newspaper, and you can read that, the digital version of that issue, as long as every other issue that we've put out. This is our 12th issue. We're going into our 1-year anniversary issue, August 2018. Still got some spots. If you want to advertise in the anniversary issue, do not wait, because advertising is going fast. We're also coming up the 4th anniversary of this radio show in August, and of the blackwestchester.com. Damon K. Jones, what have you been up to, my brother?
Nothing. Basically, absolutely nothing, man. I mean, we just preparing some letters to go out to certain elected officials, questioning some, we were questioning some answers about certain things, and that's about it, man. I've just been just enjoying the feedback from this issue of Black Westchester magazine.
Yeah, some people think it might be the best one ever.
It is.
At least that's what they're saying.
Yeah, and the investigative reporting on Joseph Spezio III.
Who that? No.
Yeah, right. And I think Westchester County would be looking into the questions we bring up, on how does he really allowed to do business with all these alleged infractions, lawsuits, judgments against him. So I think it's a wake up call to governmental accountability. Basically it's almost like what happens when government goes wrong, right? And I wish last week we had 2 county legislators on, and I missed the opportunity to ask them, why. Well, they were watching. They were watching actually. They were watching on Facebook, and I missed the opportunity to ask Legislator Johnson and Legislator Williams, What is the process?
Lyndon Williams.
Lyndon Williams. Right.
Frida's last name, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So, what is the process of oversight of the Solid Waste Commission? You know, we all know. I mean, you know, we all know a lot of this happened under Astorino, right? So, you know, it gives the county an opportunity to make things right.
Absolutely. We got a new administration as of January. We're going to see if his get out of jail free card is revoked or he will be continued allowed to operate with impunity. Couple of shout outs real quick. Atif Khalil is on the is tuned in, and he wrote a good article about tainted crack in Mount Vernon. We got Chris Breezy. We got Patrice Wallace Moore. How are you doing? Uncle Frank Trulio Jr. is in the house. Nicole Page. Judge Adrian Armstrong, who had an article about raise the age. He has an article in there. I forgot what it's about. I think it's about raise the age. I'm not sure. We got
raise the age of what?
Charging kids as adults from 16 to 18 or something like that. I think that was. We got Brenda L. Crump tuned in. Welcome everybody who's tuning in. Lorraine Lopez, what have you been? Oh, and we got Brother Lat George just tuned in. Lorraine Lopez, what have you been up to?
Well, lately, this is important.
What's up?
Lions Club from Puerto Rico sent a letter.
Yes.
Asking if we can help them. They have 100 kids in a region of Puerto Rico that still doesn't have any resources, and it's a very poor area. And they've got 100 kids that are starting school on August 1st, and they're asking us if there's any way that we can help them out with any resources, notebooks, a pencil, a pen, a sharpener, anything will do. And I got a big shout out to Yonkers Fire Department, who said
Barry McGooey.
Barry McGooey said that he was going to chip in. Galata House said they was going to chip in. Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement said they were going to chip in, but we still need a lot more help.
So for everyone listening who
yes,
might want to
please.
chip something in, how do they go about doing that?
They contact you, AJ.
Okay, well, contact anybody who wants to contribute anything. Email me at blackwestchester@gmail.com. We will give you all the particulars. We will tell you the items they need.
He'll give you my cell number.
Yes, and we will make it happen. So, we have a lot of listeners that listen from all over. You know what I'm saying? It's a good cause. Let's make a difference.
This is like helping a third world country right now.
Let's make a difference in these kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? Grab a couple of extra packs of pens and notebooks and erasers and all the things that schools need, knapsacks, school children need. So let's make that happen. Let's see what the people before politics listeners can contribute to this situation.
We'll say it again later on when more people come on, right?
No doubt. Dagmar Jimenez, is that how you pronounce it?
Dagmar Jimenez, what up, girl?
Yes, it's tuned in. Lorraine Lopez, busy woman, got phones ringing and everything.
Sorry.
People trying to holler at her.
Why you gotta shout me out like that, though? Try to cut it off.
Yo, so we got a couple of guests coming. One that confirmed and two others who have not yet to confirm. So where are we at with the Spano thing?
That mother... No, let me stop. Okay, Spano, we're on week 5.
5 weeks?
We called 4 times.
Okay.
I'm not calling no more.
Okay.
4 times. They're supposed to call back tomorrow. They said Monday. I know that's not going to happen. I'm going to be honest. You know what, Damon? What did Kanye say about Bush?
Bush don't care about black people.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Same scenario.
So
you're
trying to say Spano don't care about black people?
I'm just saying, either that or it's just me. And it probably is me, though. For real. It could be me. So maybe somebody else can call.
So what's the problem? I know somebody here knows Spano or is in the Spano administration or got his ear. Why will the man not come?
Because he don't need no votes right now.
Show to talk about the issues in Yonkers, and there are many. in the radio show that's broadcasted out of his city. So
Yeah, but
we have people coming from Ossining and Peekskill and New York City,
Mount
Brooklyn,
Vernon, everywhere.
Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, Yonkers,
County, all over the county.
We've had some of your county legislator come. We've had
Senators, congressmen.
We've had several people from Yonkers come, but the mayor will not come. And we want to deal with some of the issues in Yonkers we would like to give the mayor a chance to speak to them.
I mean, it's not a setup or anything like that. I mean, we're really good people. He knows that.
Well, it was just, when you write about a lot of the issues that go on in Yonkers, it's always good to have the mayor or the head of the administration to comment on those things, and I can't even get that. So I'm starting to take it personal. I'll be honest.
All right, he did say that he was coming when he made the announcement that he was running for Senate. Once he withdrew from that, they withdrew from coming over here too.
And see, that's the thing. We don't want you just to come. There's an open invitation.
Yeah.
It's not just for when you're running. Yo, come. The Yonkers is very big. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things, a lot of issues. Come and talk to the people. Explain to us, what's going on in Yonkers, so we can be more informed from your perspective.
Or else don't get mad if we start writing and talking. That's it.
Well, we are. I mean, we're getting a lot of calls about things going on in Yonkers, and I will be doing a series on Yonkers. It would be nice to have the mayor's perspective on some of it. But even if he does not contribute and does not contact us for the articles or show up on the radio show, we're still going to do the series. But your perspective will not be. It won't be from your perspective in there.
Well, sometimes, man, people operate on controlling the narrative, and when you can't control the narrative, or you have a question in how you can control the narrative on a show like this, because no one controls the narrative but us.
We're going to ask you the hard questions.
So sometimes people have refused to come on the show. I mean, it's nothing new to the People Before Politics show that people have refused to come on the show because of the narrative that we carry and how we ask questions and the questions, that we ask. So, they could befriend us in the street and at functions, but still horrified, to just come on the show and have a real talk,
right?
And I think that shows, the people that are in their district, the people that vote for these elected officials, should really
question that.
Should raise the rock eyebrow on them, and they need to look at what they're doing and what they're saying. If they're afraid to talk about it, then there's a problem.
Got a couple more people. Marvin Church just tuned in. Charlie Khalil.
Hey, Charlie Khalil.
Khalil, sorry about that, sir. Tasha, Honey D, Young. Just on the
what up, Queen?
Anthony Old School Mitchell, and he says, "What's good, People Before Politics?" And he says he's watching. We got brother Ken Bright tuned in. He said, "Good evening, everyone."
Good evening.
Lat George said, "Hello, lady and gentlemen."
Hello. Yay. Somebody acknowledged me. I'm so happy.
And Charlie Khalil, he gave a thumbs up. Everybody tuned in. As always, the comment section, if you got a question, you want to see us talk about a particular topic, don't hesitate to type it in there in the comment section, and we will definitely read it and address it. So, what else is going on? I know there's a lot of stuff going on.
What time Tasha's supposed to be here?
That's a good question.
Tasha's coming today?
Yeah.
What, Tasha Diaz?
Tasha Diaz, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Tasha is 6:15, 4 minutes late. Yes, so, and then there was supposed to be somebody named Brian Carter talking about a jazz festival thing. He was going to be on for like 15 minutes, and then Naya Sage.
Nada Sage?
Yes, but he hasn't confirmed.
He confirmed with me, but he hasn't confirmed since then, since the last time we called Spano's office. And if he doesn't come, Well, let's say I hope he comes. Let's just leave it like that.
No, if he don't, he don't. I mean,
if he don't, it's connected. Trust me.
I can't. It is what it is. I don't worry about people coming.
Well,
I don't either. I just don't want to hear
really
them say, "Oh, Lorraine, why'd you say that when you was on the radio show?" Because it's the truth.
Well, like Biggie said, we don't chase them, we replace them. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, bam! I like that. Bitch, I'm not chasing you. We're replacing you.
Shout out to Kenyatta Thomas. She said, "What's up?" and put the waving hand.
Hey, Kenyatta.
And Brenda posted the link to why has the Westchester County Solid Waste Commission allowed Spezio to operate with impunity. It was also a great story, a good inspirational story we read in the paper, and then I just posted it on the website about Johnny. What's his name? Johnny Button Jr. Is his last name Button?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Make sure you go and check out Platinum Car Wash on Lincoln Avenue. I
think it's 44 or something like that.
44 Lincoln.
I'm about to pull it up right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up.
We did an article.
Put the address in there?
Yeah, we did the article. He is at, hold on, you got that thing coming up. 40 West Lincoln Avenue.
40 West Lincoln Avenue, the
Platinum
Car Wash.
Platinum Hand Car Wash. They wash by hand.
I need to pay them a visit.
Yes, Black Westchester. We support black businesses, and especially this one.
And it's a very inspiring story from prison to platinum, the Johnny Button Jr. story. He did what he did back in the days, came out, had a lifetime parole, and after 3 years, with all the work that he'd been doing in the community, they released him from parole. He's been discharged from parole supervision after serving 3 years because of his numerous accomplishments and stellar behavior. He serves as an example of inner city youth everywhere, how one can turn their life around and not to let their mistakes of the past dictate their future.
I got a brother like that too, man. He got an auto place and a car dealership. And a house. He's doing real good.
That's what's up.
And all growing up, he was always in Valhalla, Rikers, or somewhere else, and now look at him.
That's what's up.
He's a good kid. He's a good guy, too. He's a good guy.
Shout out to Kevin Bunch checking us out, and Andrew Falk. He's been checking us out almost every week since he's been here.
Yeah, he was supposed to bring us Cynthia Nixon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on with that? What's going on, sir? We bring her to the show.
You said you could make it happen, and I see you in pictures with her almost every day.
Uh-oh. There you go.
Oh, wait. Shout out to Therese Patricia Akmal.
Oh,
the lady that climbed the Statue of Liberty. Now, how dope was that?
Yeah.
That was, people are like, oh, get her deported. Oh, put her in jail. Screw you, man. Yo, for a minute, I wanted to be up there with her. That was so amazing. Amazing.
You wrote a great editorial about her being a hero.
Nobody read it.
Yes, they have.
Really?
Yes. And go to
nobody read it.
Go to Black Westchester.
I've been looking for comments.
Oh, well, you know what? People don't leave comments.
Oh.
I've been having that fight for 4 years. People will call me and text me and be like, yo, that was a really great write-up. I like this, and this. I was like, oh, go ahead and leave that comment on the site. Okay. And then,
Okay. But she was so dope. When they asked her, why did you do it, she said, because Michelle Obama, my first lady, the person that I adore, said when they go low, we go high. So I went as high as I could.
I thought that was cute.
That was
awesome.
I thought that was really cute.
That was cute. Yo, but you know what? This is what this country, all those people that have all this to say about wasting resources. Yo, this country was founded on protests. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All the changes in this country have been because of protests. Even in the beginning, white people that's complaining their ancestors was at the Boston Tea Party throwing out the tea, protesting. Whatever what they protesting back then, because I forgot what it was about. But this has been about this country. That's the great thing about this country. You have the right to protest.
And she got tired. She got tired of listening to all the bickering back and forth between two different, agencies or whatever. She just got political parties, and she was like, "Yo, y'all keep arguing. Nobody's doing anything about it. These kids are still separated from the parents. If you're not gonna say something, I'm gonna say it." And she did.
That's what's
She
up.
did.
And just because I just want to say one thing. Lorraine always say nobody paying her no mind. Nobody. Tasha D said, "Yes, beautiful Lorraine. Greatness recognized greatness."
Yes.
You're talking about Patricia.
You.
Yes.
But she's talking about you.
Thank you.
Yes. And she said, "Hell yeah." What you was about to say, Damon?
Yeah, I wanna give a big shout out to one of my closest friends down in Maryland, Sonia Wiggins Pruitt, who is now the new chairwoman of the National Black Police Association. I want a real big shout out to her. She's going to be a good chair, and I might just go back to the organization now that she's chair. I haven't been around in about 10 years, but I might go back, man. I might go back because Sonia's good people. And she's about freedom, justice, and equality, man. And, I can't tolerate nonsense, down with any organization. But National Black Police Association is my former home before we branched off and started Blacks in Law Enforcement of America. But I think, and I was the Northeast Regional President. But I would go back to support Sonia, because I think she's a great person, and black law enforcement organizations need to be, they really need to step up, not just the NBPA, but Noble and all the other organizations that have black attached to it. I think they really need to start stepping up in the age of Trump, and I hope Noble will not invite the Attorney General Sessions ever again back. They did it twice. I blew him up the first time. I let him slide the second. We'll see. We'll see next year if they bring him back, because then they just haven't learned. They just haven't learned.
Quick shout out from Atif Khalil. He says, "What's up, people?" And we have Nadine McKenzie tuned in. That's Shamoya's mother. Lost her daughter that New Year's Eve in Mount Vernon. Yeah, she's tuned in. Brenda posted.
Much love, much respect, man.
But Brenda posted the link to your story, so if anybody didn't read it, they can read it now.
I love you, Brenda. Thank you.
Tasha said, "Lorraine, rise and resist." The organization Patricia represented tried to basically say they don't confine that type of they don't.
Oh, they threw her under the bus real quick.
That
real
type of
quick.
behavior. So,
they don't condone.
So a sister went in on them for not supporting her.
Good.
I think what this shows. This shows that the Democratic Party needs an enema, right?
Big time.
They need a real. They need a real enema, because for Shuck and Chuck to disavow Maxine Waters and the
yes, I was about to get to that next.
And the history that Auntie Maxine has held in that position, and the things that she has done, for the community is really, it's really atrocious, man. It's really atrocious, and I think
I know that and Chuck gotta go.
The Westchester Black Political Caucus is preparing a letter to Mr. Schumer and
good.
Christian Gillibrand, to let them know that black voters ain't feeling this, in Westchester County, and we're not having that, I mean, they should be standing up behind them, but that shows the divide, the racial divide, in politics, and that they always take the black vote for granted. They still take the black vote for granted.
And those two want to be president.
Well, they're not getting black votes, just for that. They're not getting my vote, if either one of them need to be president, So, I mean, that's just shows that they take the black vote for granted, that they could just say anything and think there's not going to be a backlash in what they say.
Yeah, real quick, we also wrote there was also a letter from the Westchester Black Political Conference. It's on blackwestchester.com. You can read that. Tasha says she totally agreed, my brothers, about Auntie Maxine. Yes, we are. Atif said Pelosi and Chuck gotta go. Tasha said we are meeting with them Tuesday. Atif agreed. He said no chance. They ain't getting my vote. Neither one of them.
Yeah. So that's
yes. So we got our first guest.
let's move into our first guest.
We got our first guest, a young lady, and as she comes in, I just want to say, I'm gonna be doing a Black Westchester. One of the things that we wanted to do with Black Westchester is that in every community, an urban community, there's somebody who is like an unsung hero, who holds it down for so long, who doesn't get the publicity, who continues to do the work unselfishly, and we like to spotlight those people. And our next guest is one of those people. She's definitely do a lot of work in the community. We'll let Lorraine tell you some of that stuff. She knows more than I do, but she's been doing it, and other people get credit for it. And you know what? She don't complain. She continues to help her community and do what she can to make her community better. And I'm talking about community organizer and activist Tasha Diaz. And let's give you an official People Before Politics round of applause. Welcome to the show. This is your first time here, right? Is this your first time? Pull your mic closer to you, and yes, and your computer, you can do all your social media, whatever you want to do. You can share the live video from my page to your page so all your people can watch you. So how are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay. Now, I know Lorraine knows you a little better, so I'm going to let her give you a fitting introduction.
That's because she's my fan.
Okay.
No, she wears several hats. One of them is Tasha happens to be the secretary for the Yonkers Democratic Party.
Okay.
Maybe she can help us get Spano in here. She's also in George Latimer's Women's Advisory Committee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
all right.
for the county. Yes. She's
right
one
on.
of those wonderful women, yes.
Go ahead.
She also is going to be running for office next year.
Oh, okay. There you go.
She's a community organizer, community activist that's been busting her butt. And I'm not gonna curse or anything like that, because like if she's starting her campaign, we gotta start it off without the curse and everything. I already told her that too. Busting her butt out there in the community, working with elected officials, and the sad part about it is that it's all elected officials that we know that sat here with us, and they kind of don't really help her at all, but they show up for all the events to take credit for it and take the photo op and don't even acknowledge her. And this woman has been taking care of Southwest Yonkers. Well, let her tell you.
Okay.
Let her tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, Tasha Diaz.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. Hey,
Hello.
Tasha.
Hi, I'm Tasha Diaz. Yes, like Lorraine said, I'm very active in my community. I've always been active. My grandmother, Mary Blackman, God bless her soul,
Right.
she's the one that actually got me started. She worked with numerous politicians back in the day, starting back from Joe Farmer.
Wow.
Yeah, from Joe Farmer. My grandfather, George Blackman, also was a big help in, getting me into politics. I never thought that I would be the one to sit here and say, I'm going to be a politician. I never labeled myself as a politician.
Well, elected official, because people
I
think
like
negative
the
about
word-
politicians. Oh.
I like the word public servant.
There you go.
That's what I like. I like public servant.
There you go.
Because we're supposed to be here for the people. We're supposed to be advocating for many things that they need.
Right.
And like Lorraine said, Southwest Yonkers is the forgotten district. A lot of people don't come out. Like she said, when it's time for a photo op and things like that, they come out. But I also started a lot of tenants associations in my area, starting with mine. I mean, it took me a while to get it started. I had to go through the whole HUD book, Section 8, everything. I read that HUD Bible is what I call it because it's thick. Thanks to Ms. Baker also, she has been a real big rock. She's been solid. She's been standing with me through everything. I've been out there, like I said, just doing things, and I always stood behind. I never, ever, asked for the credit. They never offered me the credit, but a lot of things are going on now that I see that are being swept under the carpet. Like I said, I started the Tenants Association because housing was one of my big things that I wanted to touch bases on. People get Section 8s, they go into HUD, but these big organizations and municipalities, they forget about these people. They give them these vouchers, they never go back and check on the buildings, and a lot of these buildings are not ran the way that they're supposed to be ran. Like 7383, for example, today, I've been with them since Thursday. I've been delivering aid.
How many tenants in that building? Tell them.
It's a pretty big building. It's about 150 units. Okay, and they go up to 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
So it's a multi-family unit. I've been there since Thursday. I just left from there right now as we speak with Mo Betta and Miss Baker. I delivered aid, food, water, drinks. I've been there. I've donated socks to the Mo Betta Project. I allocated food from outside of Westchester, and I have been delivering personally throughout Westchester, not just in Yonkers. I've been all over Westchester.
And you've been doing that for months.
Yes, I have. And myself and Virginia Perez comes with me sometimes. And, we go out, we pick up this food. I use my own gas, my own transportation. Nobody gives me anything. Nobody offers to give me anything, and I don't ask for anything. You know why? Because I'm here for the people. And the people really appreciate it, especially the seniors.
That reminds me, you just said Virginia Perez. So it's not Virginia Perez that gives out all this food? Because I was under the impression that it was hot.
No, I was the one that actually met with someone down in New York City that runs numerous buildings. And what I did was, one of my friends knew him, and I went down there and I formed a partnership with them because the food was going to waste. They were throwing it away. And it's good food. And like I said, anybody could feed you, but when it comes down to healthy food, can they feed you healthy? And that's what I'm doing. Because a lot of people say, you know what, go get McDonald's, go get Burger King, give them this, it's 2 for $3, it's 2 for $5. But you know what, I'm giving healthy food. And it's still good food. I mean, I still give out the chocolate chip cookies and things, but it's all whole grain. The bread is all whole grain. It's always fresh. The fruits and vegetables are always fresh. The people line up for the food. They don't have any problems with it.
Oh, I got to interrupt you real quick. So I get an alert on my phone that Tasha Diaz just went live, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, "How are you going live?" And then somebody, I was like, "How you got the room from that view when you're sitting right there?" Okay, real quick, Oscar Davis Jr. joined in. He said, "Very interested." While you were talking, you got a lot of thumbs up and hearts. Lionel Turner just joined in. Donna Jackson just joined in, and she gave you a thumbs up as well.
Thank you.
Lionel Turner, we have to talk because I know we was trying to get you on the show back when we were dealing with the loss of jobs for the CSEA, but I know there's still a lot of issues that the teachers are facing in Yonkers and stuff, and we still have to talk about that. So give me a call so we can schedule that. But I'm like I said as you was walking in, people like you don't get. Just do this. They do this work. There's people in all communities. You don't never see them. They don't do it to get their name mentioned. They don't hold press conferences. They don't invite camera crews, just so they can be seen and make the news. They just do it. Yep. But most people don't know they do it. And with the saying that you might be running for office, I always say you want people that are doing this without a title. The people that are in your community doing things without a title, without the notoriety, without the camera crews, when the camera crews are going, they're still there. Those are the people that I know I like to vote for, because you know what I'm saying? So whenever it is that you run, you might want to keep those things in mind. But I definitely wanted to do a spotlight on you, and we're going to do that in the paper because you deserve it.
Thank you.
You deserve it. And people need to know who you are, put a face to the voice. So I know in some of the stuff I was reading and hearing, sometimes you have too much food and you don't have nowhere to give it out to. So for people, I know Yonkers is a very big, very diverse city by itself. What, the third or fourth city, largest city in New York
Fourth.
alone? Fourth, right? So for people that might be hearing this, or they know someone, a neighbor of theirs, or a family member who may be in need, because I know I even heard you sometimes deliver the food to the apartment, to
Yes,
people's
I do.
apartments. How do people get in touch with you if they're in need? How do
They can reach me on my Facebook, Tasha Diaz. That is the sole purpose of my Facebook.
Okay.
And when they go on there, they can see it says in loving memory of Mary Blackman.
Okay.
So it's for the community. That's what
Okay.
my Facebook is for. I never had a Facebook before. I just opened it up,
Okay.
because I need to let my community know that there is people that care about you.
Right.
There
right,
is.
Right. No, that's very good, because we're all supposed to do, a lot of times what happens in the black and brown communities, the few people who actually do make it, they make it and take their money and they run out this community and they never look back. But you're supposed to take care of those who are not doing as well as you. And with the situation and jobs, especially in Yonkers, a whole bunch of people almost lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Any one of those families could have been in need for you to be dropping off food to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they just lost a major source. The teachers, the firefighters, the police.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, people think just the homeless people or people that just, everybody, there's a lot of us that are 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. So,
And
you know what I'm
wouldn't
saying?
believe the communities that I go into.
Right.
Gee.
Houses.
Yeah.
Right.
People with houses. This epidemic is everywhere. Because I
Right.
call it an epidemic. People they sweep it under the carpet, and they say donate to ShopRite, donate to community, to the charities and things. But how do we know that these people really get it? The people that need it. How do we
Right,
know they get
right,
it?
right, 'cause
I donate to churches.
Right.
Our DCI is one of my big churches that I donate twice a week,
Okay.
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Okay.
I'm always there. I also give to daycares. A lot of
Right.
people don't know that. I go out to daycares.
Wow.
I do a lot of giving to the seniors, and I personally go to the seniors' door. I mean, I have a list in my pocketbook right now that I have to go deliver some food to.
Okay, that's what's up. I feel that way too. When I was living in Atlanta when I don't know if it was Katrina or the one after Katrina hit, one of those, and everybody was talking about giving money, and I wasn't down to give money to the Red Cross. You don't know where that money goes. But what had happened was, I was the head of the men's ministry at my church. A lot of people that I personally knew were bombarded by family members from Louisiana who had been displaced, and they had 20 and 30 families. So what we did is we had a huge cookout outside with ridiculous amounts of food, because one of the things when you have all this family is how you're going to feed them. So they were able to leave with, cooked food and some uncooked food and bottled cases of water and everything. I knew I could see who I was helping. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we weren't just giving $500 here and you don't know where. Like, I could see the people and I knew who I was helping, and I felt more involved. I felt better than just giving some money to the Red Cross. So I advise people, when you give your money, give your money to people that are definitely doing what they're doing. Like, you can see them do it. You know what I'm saying?
And I usually tell people, don't give me money.
Okay.
I'd rather take the donation.
Okay.
So at least you know where your money went.
Right,
and you gave
right.
it to me, and the donation went personally to the person. I never take
Trust
money.
me, you want to do that.
Yes.
You
I
do
never
want
take
to
money.
do that.
Never.
Trust me, you do want to do
Speaking
that.
from experience.
Speaking from experience.
So
Tell us some of the other things that you've done.
Well, I'm on the ACDY committee.
what does
in
that stand
Yonkers.
for?
That's the Dominican Cultural Association of Yonkers.
Okay.
I'm also the president of my tenants association in my building.
Okay.
And I've also got a lot of things for my building. It's been 26 years since people have been in the backyard. I got all of that cleaned up, and the building has access. The community room as well. We had an entrance to get to the parking area where you didn't have to walk around. You could just go right in. They closed it. I was the one that got that open.
Oh, you did. I was
yes.
young. Good for you. That's
I'm
been
also
closed for years.
the co-founder of the Jefferson Terrace Cooking Association. My sister and myself, we run the Jefferson Terrace Cooking Association, and it's funded through Eugene Conroy, which is my building owner. He's a big supporter when it comes to me. He knows that I'll be the one to go out and I'll fight for the people and the kids especially. You know, I opened up my backyard to the community. We rented a slide. We had the kids come and just have fun and free food and drinks. And my building owner, Eugene Conroy, funded all of this. And I also deliver foods to my other buildings.
I need you to
White
pull
Plains.
your mic to you. On your page, Sandy Gray is saying, talk louder, I can't hear what you are saying. James Nolan is saying, good job. Sandy Gray said, I can't hear you again.
Thank you.
Is that your mom?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mommy.
And we have a couple other people, Caitlin Gleason, Roderick Crosswright, Luis Cherico, Sherry McIntyre. I think I pronounced her name right. Yes, so I wanted to make sure people hear you, so just pull that mic up. Yeah. Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
So yes, I deliver food to other buildings that my owner has throughout Westchester. His buildings go from Yonkers all the way up to Newburgh.
Oh, so you don't just do Mount Yonkers?
No, I do anybody in need.
Including Mount
Anyone in
Vernon,
need.
if there's anyone
Yes.
in need in Mount Vernon.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's up.
I'm also in the works of contacting George Latimer because I want to start something for the entire county where I can get a space where they could just come in and get the food as needed, no questions asked. Because a lot of these charities, you know, people wait on a line and they say, your name is not on the list. Well, how do I know to put my name on the list?
Right.
You know,
right,
no
right,
one
right.
gives you that information.
Right,
You see a
right.
line of people and you go and you think it's for everyone, but come to find out it's not for everyone.
And you
it's
need
not fair.
ID.
Yeah, and they turn people away. I want to have an open door policy. No questions asked. If you need it, you can come to me and I will supply you with the food.
If anybody is listening from the county county executive's office, Deputy Commissioner Ken Jenkins, Crystal Collins, anyone who has his ear, tell him to contact Black Westchester, and we'll see if we can put you in touch with them.
Yes.
And Brother Ken Bright from Mount Vernon said, good work, Miss Diaz.
Thank you.
Yes. So yeah, we have to support people like you. We have to uplift you. We have to let people know that you're out there. I just want to congratulate you personally, face to face.
Thank you.
I didn't know that you did all that, but what I did know, I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed, and I was like, yo, this is an unsung hero that needs to be uplifted.
And I'm also a pageant mom. I was a pageant mom. I was a governess for 14 years. My daughter has been Miss Yonkers, Miss Westchester County twice.
Okay.
She's been state hostess.
Okay.
And
all right.
she went to a lot
Let's
of
give her a round of applause.
she went to a lot of elected officials, and nobody wanted to pick it up.
Oh, okay.
But as a pageant mom, I still kept going.
Okay. Brenda Crump is our behind-the-scenes person. Anytime we talk about something, she will post a link. So she has just posted the link to your Facebook page.
Thank you.
In the comment section for everybody to go there. So
you.
shout out to Brenda. She's always backing us up. And she posted a video, Tasha Diaz providing food to the people. Please watch the video to learn more about Mission of Love. It's a YouTube video. So she's posting all that for the people to see.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Shout out to DJ G Bless. I haven't heard from you in a while. I need you to call me, brother. I need to know how you're doing. Oh, I also want to shout out real quick. Pastor Jeffrey Wheeler was just in the hospital again. I talked to him this morning. He said he's out because I was going to visit him. He said he's out.
I didn't even know he was in. He's out.
He was getting dressed for to go to church when I talked to him this morning. So I just want to give him a shout out real quick. We have a caller. See if I can get this right. People before politics, please state your name and your purpose for calling. And if you have a computer on, please turn it off because you're echoing already.
No, I don't have a computer on, but we can't hear you.
You
We're
can't.
tuned in, but we can't hear you. If you could talk a little louder.
You can't hear anybody, or you can't hear one of
No,
us.
you can't hear. It's very low. You can't hear.
It was like that last week, too, when I was listening. It was very low.
Okay.
But I'll say my name. My name is Brandy Nicole Campbell. I wanted to say hello to you and hi to Miss Tasha Diaz and Miss Lorraine Lopez and everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Brandy.
I wanted to say thank you so much. Working with Tasha Diaz is so great in the community. Everything that she does with giving out food As soon as they call, she's always on assignment. She's always ready to go. And I just really want to say thank you.
Thank you, Brandy.
That was very nice of you. Thank you.
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, and we'll try to work on that volume situation for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Did I hang up? Drop. Okay, there we go. Yes. Damon.
So, Tasha, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Damon.
I remember Tasha called me. When
Yes, tell him the story.
It was this mad black woman on the other end, like, yo, what are they doing? I was like, listen, you just gotta work your plan and get out in the community and lay your foundation. And you know what? It's crazy because she's doing it. I mean, like she's doing it, and I wish you the best. I see you doing what you're doing and continue to do it.
Thank you.
Really, and I think you could take that to the next level and become an elected official, a representative of the people, because you're already doing it. And those things you could take on to a greater office. And I hope you down the line you decide to run again, and don't let that party, this Democrat thing, break you, because a lot of times it's cliquish. They're like gangs, they have a gang mentality, and you have to break through that. And when people see that you're connected with the community, that's power. That's definitely power. Keep doing it and keep building your power and make them respect you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I come from a tough district. I'm built for tough.
There you go.
I'm ready, and they know that I'm ready.
Good.
And that's why a lot of them are scared. But you know what? It's for my community. Strength is in numbers, and as long as my community stands behind me, I know I can be successful.
There you go.
That's what's up.
There you go.
And you definitely got the community behind you. Definitely got the community. I mean, so much to the fact that, like, for example, I won't say names, okay? There was she did a book bag giveaway for kids to go to school, and she stuffed up all these book bags. She got over 250 book bags by herself, and got all this stuff donated and put them together, and went to one of the Ys, and while she was doing this, she called up a county legislator that we know, and she asked this guy, listen, can you help me? And he says, no, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do to help you. But when it came time for them to give out the book bags, the person at the Y was the first one up on the mic, and this son of a gun was the first one up there too, talking about, hi, I'm county legislator so-and-so, and look at how great I am. And, no one acknowledged Tasha.
Wow.
At that, nobody acknowledged her. It wasn't until an employee at the Y decided to take the mic and say, you know what, we have to acknowledge the person that made all this happen. And he acknowledged Tasha. But if not, Tasha would have stayed quiet like she usually does. But she's not doing that no more. Nope. And they would have all took the credit, everybody, and everybody got the photo op. News 12 spoke to them. They spoke to everybody but Tasha. And this is just one of the many things she's done, like the prom dresses, all kinds of stuff that you see on News 12. This is all Tasha. All Tasha, but you don't see her. You don't see her being interviewed. They're interviewing the elected officials and the head of the organizations, and these people forget who she is once they see the spotlight.
So this nameless county legislator wouldn't happen to be Virginia Perez, right?
No, I said he.
No. Oh, it wasn't her? Okay.
No. I said it was a he.
Oh, okay.
Virginia Perez, that's something else.
A new county legislator?
Yes.
Oh, so Yonkers, so we got to be talking about Chris Johnson.
I didn't say that his name. Well, I said it was a he. He's new. He's a county legislator
I'm
from
saying
Yonkers.
That's Chris Johnson. That's it. That's Chris Johnson. Jesus. He's taking credit.
And everybody donated for me to get these book bags. George Latimer, I went to Vic. They donated. I went to Wilson Terrero. He donated. I went to Virginia Perez. She donated. I went to 628, local 628, the firefighters, and they donated. And also Maeve Scott. She donated
That's
the
Barry
crayons
McGooey's
and everything.
sister.
Yes, she donated the crayons and the notebooks and everything to go inside of the book bags.
And it was in his district, and he couldn't help, but he showed up.
And I made sure every kid in Serato Park left with a book bag. There was no kid that left without a book bag.
Is he listening today? He was listening last week.
Well, Chris.
Oh, he gonna
Chris,
kick himself
Chris,
for not listening today,
Chris,
boy.
my brother Chris, yo, you got nothing but love from us. But for this, you get the gas face. Shout out to Hector Santiago listening and Margaret Bradbury.
Hola, Hector.
I think, we need to
I didn't say his name.
start putting
No,
the
AJ Woodson
spotlight
said it.
on Yonkers a little more.
I think
Well,
so
we're
too.
getting a lot of calls for that.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of calls to the corruption in City Hall, corruption in the school district. I mean, we were dealing with some, like this previous investigative report took a lot out of us. We had to focus on just that. But, we've been, Mount Vernon has been keeping us busy. But Yonkers, I have said in the last couple of shows, we will be doing a series on Yonkers. Anyone who has information, wants to point me in the right direction, blackwestchester@gmail.com. Let me know if you want to stay anonymous. You can.
They're going to call right now. Somebody call in right now.
That's Christopher Johnson.
People before politics, please state your name and purpose for calling.
Sandra Blackman. The purpose of the call is to find out what are they doing about the counseling we have in our district that doesn't even come in our district to help. We got Rundown Park.
What district is that?
District 3.
What's District 3?
Sabatino was District
That's
3.
the district you're going to run in.
Yes, it is.
What? First off, we missed your name. Please state your name again.
Sandy Blackman.
Okay, welcome to the show.
And your question is about the Rundown Park?
Yes, we have Rundown Park. The kids go there to play, but they have to come out of there because of things that are going on in that park.
By the way, it's still the same play yard that was there when I was younger. I have the scar on my leg to prove it.
What's the park? Where's the park?
Serato
Oh,
Park.
Serato Park. Okay, I remember when they built that place.
And who?
Okay.
They're tearing it down now?
We don't know what they're doing there. They haven't fixed it up since God knows how long. All I know is
Jesus.
Who?
They can't even play basketball. It's lumpy. The ground is broken up.
And it's one of the most densely populated areas in Yonkers.
What's the city council person's name?
No. She said third district.
Third
that would
district
be
is Sabatino.
Michael Sabatino.
Is the third district, but Serato Park sits inside of the first district.
Okay.
Who's the first district?
The first district right now is Shanae.
Shanae, another friend of the show. I will be calling you, Shanae, and we will. I will definitely ask your councilwoman and see what she has to say and report back.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
and
you.
a lot of people fell in that park. There's no railing there. It's a lady that lives in 7383.
It's
She
a
has to get an
big
operation
park.
on her eye. She fell and hit the corner, and she has to get an operation in her eye.
I think.
Mo Better fell. She cracked something in her ankle. She had to get operated on. They brought all of this to Chris Johnson's attention when he was the city council. And they told him that, he told them that he was going to look into it and write everything up. And Ms. Baker waited and nothing. When she actually got with Simra to ask her, did the paperwork go through for what was going on, nobody seen it.
Well, I want to y'all to Lorraine or Tasha. Maybe this week, one day, y'all can just take me to the park. I'll take some pictures and I'll
Yes.
talk to some people there, and we'll post something right away to bring some attention to that.
You
Yes.
know when we go to Warburn and then we head to Riverdale, Warburn and Riverdale connect. And it's right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm as I sit here, and in 2 weeks I'll be 50 years old, right?
I'm older than you.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
2 weeks I'll be 50. I appreciate Paul Feiner more and more. I mean, he's been
Greenberg
around
Town Supervisor.
forever.
That's so sweet.
And Greenberg, because I moved to Mount Vernon 8 years ago, and I noticed like people had to march to fix their parks and all this stuff. And I never, as a kid growing up in Greenberg, I never experienced what people are experiencing in these other towns, and just normal governmental activity. Like, I will come out and the backboard or the rim or the net will be missing, and we will play, and then someone will call, and the guy will come in his little Greenberg truck, get on his ladder, and put a net up, or fix the backboard, or the jungle gym, or whatever needed to be fixed. You know, it would be fixed in a timely manner. And then, you know, now as an adult, you know, it's definitely a disservice to the kids when grown-ass adults can't do something as simple as mow a park, clean the gutter out the park, do simple things to keep a park, you know, together. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. And one thing Jamani had said when we was on VOX, he was like, the money's there, they just don't have the money for what you want. You know, and that's the problem, you know. But we have to learn as a people to stop voting for these motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
Like I can say this is my show and it's internet, it's Facebook. Stop voting. I'm gonna make a T-shirt tonight and I'm gonna post it. Stop voting for these motherfuckers if they don't do the job right. That's gonna be on the T-shirt and it's gonna be $23, and I hope everybody buy it because we got to send a message. You know, Councilman Wallace is here, not the Councilman Wallace, but to other elected officials. You know, we have to stop voting for y'all motherfuckers. Yo. And I'm spelling it just like that, motherfuckers. So people can understand, you know, that the voters have to be serious. Right now, dude, we could take over the party, right? We don't even understand what Cuomo just did, right? He's allowing people that are on parole to vote. That's hundreds. That's thousands of people in New York.
That changes the voting pool altogether.
It changes the voting pool. It changes everything. And black people don't get it. Hispanic people don't get it. Because it's only us on parole, right? Yeah. It's only us in jail, right? So it changes the dynamics on who we could get in office in local, in county, and state.
So it's official if you're on parole?
Yes, he passed the executive order. If you're on parole, you could vote in New York.
Okay, because you had to be off parole if you had a felony.
Right now, if you're on the parole, not anymore.
No, because like he said, if you got these people on parole, you want them to do better. You want them to become good citizens. You want them to advance and move up in the world. Part of that is voting.
Absolutely,
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, that's good. We're gonna definitely.
So we're gonna wear those shirts when we go to Serrato Park.
Yes, stop voting for these motherfuckers. That's if they not doing their job.
And a lot of them don't have kids, so they don't know the importance of the kids needing a safe.
Not just that, just
to play in.
Well, I want to say thank you for bringing it to the caller. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. One of the young ladies here will definitely take me to the park. Yes, within the next week or so, or next week or two, and I will definitely be taking pictures, some video, and anybody who wants to talk about it, and I will definitely.
Don't try to clean it up before we get there.
Yeah, well,
amazing.
But I'll talk to and I invite the residents to come out when I'm out there. We'll announce when we come in. So
yes, I'll bring Ms. Baker. I'll bring Mo Better, Perry out. I'll bring everybody out.
So we could get the comments from the people. So I want to thank you and. For bringing that to my attention. Is she still there? Okay. Thank you. And we just have a couple other people who want to check in. Joanne. Louise made a comment and it's about Paul Feiner, the town supervisor, and I want to second that. Paul Feiner, if you call him, he'll give you his actual cell number. If you call him, he will call you back. I work on stories in the middle of the night. It'd be 2:30. I send this man an email. And to my surprise, I get an answer in a half an hour. It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. He'd be like, he gives me his quote for the story or links to wherever I need. So I just want to shout him out. And he does a monthly column in Black Westchester newspaper.
Yes.
Called the Greenberg Report. Yeah. So he does on page 7 or 8, somewhere around there. He does it every month. So I applaud him. I can't get the black politicians in Westchester. I've given a lot of them an opportunity to have a column to write whenever they want it, and very few of them I've heard from. They all said yes. We've done 12 issues. I've not heard from any of them. I hear from
Not
people when they
surprising.
want to run, and then they want to put out a column because they're running, but that's putting their agenda out, and I won't let them do it. You know what I'm saying? So, we got Mount Vernon City Councilman Andre Wallace is in the building.
What's up?
What's going on,
up?
sir? Pull your mic
Hello,
up close
Mr.
to you.
Wallace.
I actually came here because I didn't have internet service at my house, so I can't use it.
He came here to use the computer.
So you can't listen to the show live.
I'm actually not gonna be here long. I just gotta make this order.
So real quick,
What's happening?
real quick, shooting the Mount Vernon issues of politics. Now I know the city council had a press conference. The mayor had a press conference
Yeah.
afterwards, which we wrote about. Something that happened to one of our reporters. But the mayor has since been sending out a lot of email blasts that I get at least once or twice a day, basically saying that the city council and the controller are playing politics with the people, and they can't do what they have to do because y'all won't do what y'all have to do. And as far as the whole thing with the EPA and the sewer thing. So for everybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, what's going on with that sewer, the EPA thing, there's some fines involved, and what's not being done and who's not doing it.
Well, basically, that don't make any sense. Everything that he says never makes any sense. That's for one. Two, the council did their job. The controller did their job. We went to the
Both
meeting-
controllers, actually.
Right, both controllers.
Maureen
we
and-
went, and you know what's funny? He had a problem with the past controller, which he has the same problem with this controller. So sometimes you got to look at yourself because everybody else can't be wrong. But when you look at the whole thing is, we went and purchased equipment for him to do the job. We assigned and gave him allocations to make sure that he has the people to do the job. So why is it a job not done? That is the question that we're trying to find out, because there was supposed to be, I remember in 2017 when we were down at the first meeting, the DOJ was asking for, pretty much a plan, okay? So we bought all the equipment and did all the things we were supposed to do according to the plan that the mayor said he would have finished in 2 weeks and submitted back to the council and to the DOJ. That never happened. And that is the problem. So still, after we went to another meeting, I wasn't at this second meeting because I was like, it makes no sense going down, so Councilman Griffith went down along with, who was it? It was Duarte, Councilwoman Duarte. And, pretty much the mayor spent most of the time talking about, he needs to hire this person and that person and this person. Now, let me just make this point, because I saw his cart before the horse. Okay.
Yes, I got 3 of those.
Now, I don't understand if he's doing the cart before the horse pertaining to himself or somebody else. And I ask you this question. If you are going to say we got the cart before the horse, okay, think about this. We're asking you to produce a plan, but you're asking us, give me money first. Wouldn't you actually create and submit the plan? Because how do you know the DOJ is even going to accept the plan? So first of all, you have to put the plan together, which they're asking for, on when the work is going to be done, how the work is going to be done, okay? And to identify this and to give them a copy of the plan that we're working off of, which makes sense so that they can check.
So the
to see if
DOJ hasn't received anything from
they
the city?
we haven't even received anything. We've been waiting over a year for the mayor, and now he gets up and he says, oh, look, they're going to sue us because of them. It makes no sense. So if you have a plan, once you put that together, then you can look at what you need for the plan. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So
Makes sense.
who's putting the cart before the horse? The council or the mayor? Now, another thing you have to also take into consideration is that with all of the equipment and men that we gave you, you're still saying, I need all of this stuff before I can do my job. You should be doing your job already. You should have been working on it. And then, even though you went and said that you did 6,000 linear feet of lines and sewers, The DOJ's response was, oh, so you're telling us you're working without a plan. That was the response.
Wow.
So
Sound
you
like
can
the
do,
no plan.
and he knows about the no plan because he's been working on it since he's been mayor.
Can I
And
stop
a
you?
lot of people need to think about this also.
One of the things that confused me, and I maybe you can shed some light on this. So, he's blaming the former administration, which would be Mayor Ernie Davis,
Right.
during the time when he was Councilman Richard Thomas.
Correct.
But then he's also blaming the
Himself.
current administration because he's blaming you, who wasn't a city councilman at the time.
Correct.
At a time when he's the mayor, the CEO of the city, as he puts it. So how can it be the former administration when he was a city council person, and your fault in the current administration when he's the mayor, and nowhere in there am I seeing his fault? How is it not? How does he have no fault in any of this, and he was part of both administrations, and he's the mayor now?
You know, think about it this way, and I made this clear when we sat at the Board of Estimates meeting. Since he has been mayor for 2.5 years, okay, he has not taken responsibility for not one issue in the whole entire city. It's always someone else's fault. And I keep on saying the same thing over. If you're going to lead. Be a leader. Don't blame something on someone else whenever anything happens. Okay, I understand you enjoy wearing the sash and the hat and walking around and getting the free drinks. But at some time, you're going to have to do some work. You know, between the free chicken dinners, you got to get up and do something. Brother, you got to work. And that is the problem. So if you're going to do that, you got to take responsibility. You can't keep blaming everything on Maureen Walker, who's no longer here. You can't blame the stuff on Ernie Davis, you're no longer here. And even I've heard him go as far as blaming things on Clinton. He's not here. That's years ago.
Blaming things on Clinton?
When do you start
Jesus.
taking some of the
I
responsibility?
thought he was talking about Bill Clinton for a minute. I was
No,
like,
you know,
really?
He would probably blame it on him too. And
But the bottom line is,
you ran for the job.
But
do the job.
even running, you knew in your first few days you were inheriting a mess. But you
Absolutely.
were elected to help clean up this mess.
Right, and if
So
you didn't want
at
to
some
do it,
point,
you should have left then.
At some point, you have to govern and do things to clean up the mess,
Right.
regardless of whose fault it is.
Right. This is
Because a
all
lot of things
dropped
that
on
we
you.
haven't do predate him, but you are here now.
Okay, let
You know
me
what I'm
give
saying?
you a fine example.
Someone said like Trump.
I
That's-
even issued. I put out a issue. I put out a letter about our potholes and all. When I put out that letter, those potholes pre-exist me. But when I say we have to hold a county, we have to hold elected officials, accountable. I said in it, including myself. I take responsibility because I inherited this job. I'm taking responsibility for the sewers not being done going all the way back to 2003 when they weren't done. Because you know why? I am now sitting here doing the job for the people. So whatever was messed up in the past before I got here is still my problem. I can't sit back and say, oh, it was Billy Joe from like 1922. No, it's your job now. You got to do it. And you can't point fingers. This is what we were elected to do. So stop whining and focus on the issue. Let's sit down and get it done. And stop playing the blame game and running around town making videos. All of the, you know what's funny? He said he didn't have enough staff to do the plan, right? To write up the plan. He needed more staff. But you got staff to make videos. You got staff to make cartoons. You got staff to run up and down and make slideshows and billboards and screens and movies and all kind of other things. But you don't have time to sit down and do a plan on some paper. It doesn't make sense. If you have all that staff, take that staff, focus them where it's supposed to be and get the job done. That's it.
It's funny because a lot of people blame a lot of stuff on the county on the previous administration, and George Latimer's been there, since January? And I have never once heard him say, oh, man, Astorino this, Astorino did that. I'm not saying he fixed everything, but it looks like he's trying to fix things because he's there now. Mm-hmm. And it probably was way bigger than he thought it was going to be.
But that's a whole nother category. Latimer is a leader. That is why he was elected. And not once have I heard him complain about anything. And every conversation I've ever had with him was about, we have to move things forward, we're going to get it done. He never blamed it on anybody.
Well,
he said things are not right, and the other things that are really messed up, we're going to focus on and we're going to get it done.
Well,
that's all he says.
Well, the reason I brought him up specifically, because Mount Vernon residents, sometimes I talk to them, and even the politicians, you say something, and they say something like, well, it's Mount Vernon, that's how it goes. Well, George Latimer is a product of Mount Vernon. So obviously that's not how it goes for everybody who's from Mount Vernon. So that was why I brought it up.
No, it's not how it goes. It's not.
So you have a city council meeting coming, and you're going to get a lot of angry people blaming the council for this.
It's okay. I welcome everybody to the council. I welcome their questions. So does the council. We look forward to answering these questions with facts and not fiction. And we plan on laying everything out so that everybody understands it. And yes, we will be ready. I encourage the mayor to continue sending everybody our way, because we are going to educate everybody, and then you will see exactly what's going on. There is no fear that I have of people coming and asking me the questions. That's my job.
Well, they've started.
I'm going to do it.
They've started. So Mutombo Muhammad said, so the here and now, how much are all you going to raise our property tax? Hashtag sick of this shit.
Okay. First of all, let me explain something to you. We are not in jeopardy of no $199 million. People's taxes are not going to be raised 230% like the mayor said. And people that have a house and pay taxes of $15,000, it's not going to jump up to $45,000. All of that is a myth. Second, the EPA and the DOJ, their intentions is not to sue us. They know we don't have no $500 million to give them. It makes no sense. They're not suing because they want money. They're suing because of all of the crap and all of the nonsense that's been going on with everybody, past administration and this administration, because this administration hasn't done nothing for 2 years. So nobody has done anything but just kept saying, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. So at some point, the DOJ and the EPA, they just have to sue us anyway, because they want the job done. They don't want us blaming each other. They don't want us pointing fingers. They don't want anything. They want the job done. And even when the mayor was down at the meeting, he encouraged that they sue us. It's in the minutes, so people could get the minutes. He encouraged that they sue us, and he also stated at the meeting, when you sue us, please force the council and the comptroller to put in all the money I need to do what I have to do. Please put that. And they looked at him like he had 10 heads. They said, we're not involved with that. That's not between us. All we want you to do is fix the pipes. That's it. So this whole game that he's playing, that I'm going to make up stuff and force you to give me this stuff by using this stuff, it makes no sense. It's like the little kid, like my son, that you go and you say, listen, I understand you like, dinosaurs and Barney and all of that stuff, but son, we're in a restaurant. Look at the menu and order this. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're focusing on. We got to focus on the issues.
We got a question from Greenberg, and I can answer the first part of it, no. It says, please ask him, doesn't the city give out covered garbage can bins? They not in Mount Vernon, no. You have to provide your own garbage cans. She said, why am I seeing piles of bagged garbage on grounds where rats are a major problem? There is a major rat problem
everywhere.
We've done a couple of the stories on the rat. But unlike some communities,
why is rats?
Why?
Why? Everybody.
Hold on. Why is there rats, Damon?
Because there are rats in City Hall. That's why they're rats and snitches. But
they do cans in Harrison and other places. Donna Jackson said.
But I hope people in Mount Vernon realize what he's doing. Right, he's sinking the ship. Right, he is going to. He's like a big kid, right? So the city of Mount Vernon was his toy, right? So if you try to take the toy away from him, he's going to break the toy so nobody else can play with it.
It's like he lost a basketball game, and now he took the basketball home, and
he
nobody's
takes the
playing no ball.
basketball.
Nobody's going to play with this ball.
And I hope, you know, and I hope people, you know, in Mount Vernon are seeing, you know, what he's trying to do, you know, and for the ignorant ones, right? I'm not saying any names.
The uninformed.
Right?
I misinformed.
I call them ignorant.
Okay.
You know, because they don't want to read, right? They just want to listen. And when you ask them, did you read the paperwork? They say no. Well, did you read the letter from the city council? They say no. Well, did you go to a city council meeting? They say no, right? Those are the ignorant ones. And for the ignorant ones, it affects you, right? Because what's happening now is that everybody's hands off of Mount Vernon, right? Everybody's hands off of Mount Vernon. And I'm going to say this. I was at a meeting, high-level meeting, when we were talking about changing the culture in policing. And when it came to bringing the Mount Vernon chief to the table, along with 10 other chiefs of police from Westchester County, that because we was deciding on bringing them to the table because they had the highest percentage of people of color in their cities, and Mount Vernon has the highest percentage, everybody said, no, don't bring Mount Vernon, right?
That's sad.
So because of the fact that it's a lack of respect,
wow, and
what the city is being portrayed on TV, and the nonsense and the shenanigans that's going on in governmental operations there. So when high level people, and I'm not just saying it because it happened, right? When they say, well, Mount Vernon, no, don't bring Mount Vernon right now, right? So that means the people in the city are losing, right? When you're talking about changing the culture in policing, when you're talking about changing how police affect your community and your tax dollars, and then you're excluded because of the shenanigans of the elected officials and some high-ranking police people, you lose out. You lose out.
Also, the other thing that's going on, you said the sinking of a ship. These are the signs that you see in black and brown communities just before gentrification. They allow the crime to go up, the property value goes down, they come in and swoop up all the property they can really, really cheap. And then next thing you know, the city is flourishing, and no one that looks like you. I walk down Harlem now. I can count the black people I see now. Like I'm just like, okay, there's one. For real. I was like, I see white people coming out. Red Lobster, 2 doors down from the Apollo on 125th Street. That still shocks me that there's a Red Lobster on 125th Street next to the Apollo. So, but the other thing I wanted to say though, as far as the reading thing, we get that as the editor of Black Westchester. We'll post the links to stories, and then people will call or text me and ask me the questions that are in the story, that if you read the story, you would actually have your answer. Yep. And it gets a little frustrating, because why write a story if I have to explain it to 80 different people individually? Like, I just never write the story. I just call 80 people and just, like, you know what I'm saying? It defeats the purpose of writing the story if no one's going to read it.
Like, a lot of people didn't know about your paper.
Yeah.
I've been out advocating for your newspaper, and I told them, if you want knowledge, this is the key. Food for thought. You need to pick this up, and you need to read this.
We're trying to... and we have a small staff, so supporters.
Small.
And thank you,
staff.
Well, I said supporters. I said supporters.
A staff.
We have a small
group of staff.
Small group of supporters.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? Staff?
I did correct that. So yeah, because the staff is here. So this is the staff.
No, they want me now to make sure that I bring every month an issue of your paper on my side of town, so they can get an insight of exactly
I will meet you every month like we did this month.
Mo Better, I gave her papers. I gave Paul Hudson some papers. I've been in my building with papers. I've been distributing these papers. And people are like, where did you get this from? Like, this is knowledge. I said, exactly. Knowledge that they didn't want you to have, but here it is now. It's right in front of you.
And we're trying to distribute it better. and more, and a lot of people. Atif said I didn't know either, and he lived in Damon's building, like next door to Damon. So,
hey, listen, I just made the T-shirt. It's up.
No way.
Yeah, I just made the T-shirt. It says, "If you don't do your job, we not voting for you, motherfuckers." And it got and it got the power fist. And I also got hoodies for all y'all. You can get it in a hoodie too. You can get it. You can get it in a hoodie, and you could go around looking like Luke Cage. So it's up. I posted it, and I'm gonna post it on my page. And I think that would be a nice message to give to these elected officials. You know, if they not doing their job, we
show
ain't
about their
voting for
press
you,
releases and their
exactly.
fundraisers.
Exactly.
With your shirt.
With
And take
your
a picture
shirt.
with them with the shirt on.
Exactly.
The funny thing is, I went to Charlie Khalil's prom dress giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Elected officials came empty-handed. I came in there with brand new dresses, tags on them. And one of the students' moms was there. She actually liked the dress that I bought. She picked it for her daughter. What got me was the news was there. And because I was holding the dress, I was talking to the parent. They came up to me and said, "Oh, so who did you get that dress for? What do you?" And I turned to him and I said, "No, I actually donated." Do you know he refused to do a story on me? Yeah. He walked away.
Who? News 12?
No, it wasn't News 12. It was Files, I believe.
No, Files did the
Then who was it?
It was the girl was from Files. It was another news.
She came in after she seen what he did.
Yeah, because because I didn't say it was for me that I actually donated, he wasn't interested. But he was interested when he actually thought that I was standing there and was one of the recipients of a dress.
Wow.
Yeah, because they want to, they always, you know, sometimes, man, our local news, you know.
But they spoke to the elected officials
Yes,
that
they
were
did.
there about
yes,
it.
They did.
Yeah, sometimes our local news, man, sooner or later, we're going to have our own TV show.
But I wasn't interested
Nation.
anymore because I wasn't a recipient.
WBLK Black.
Yeah, WBLK. We black. We Black TV.
And to Brown.
But Charlie Khalil was very good. He was very thankful, very grateful. Everything he had
I was
after
there
that.
today at Charlie Khalil's place.
Every day after that, he's always reached out to me. He actually wants me to join part of his staff. Charlie Khalil, I haven't been able to get down there to you yet, but I will be coming if you're listening.
We could both become board members.
Yes. And he actually came up to me and my sister when I donated the dresses and asked me to be a part. So he really seen that I didn't come empty-handed. And I didn't just come for a photo. They didn't offer me any photos or anything. Everybody came in and they said, "Okay, everybody get together and take the picture." Mind you, I was there with the brand new goods, just standing there holding them, and everybody else got the credit.
She's talking about Broadway Community Center, which, by the way, I have to say, I'm their new grant writer.
Absolutely.
Just throw that out there.
I just want to give him credit. I just want to give him a shout out. Also, Damon, post a link in the comment section where they can get the T-shirts. I want to give a shout out to Charlie.
I did.
I haven't seen it. I want to give a shout out to Charlie because Hector did the thing for the where he was raising the donations, and Charlie let him do it. You know, just let him do it there.
Yes.
And I keep hearing stories like that about Charlie. So,
Yes, he's a good person.
you know, I
Amazing,
hear a lot of good
wonderful
stuff.
Man.
I don't know
Unlike
if
his
I've
cousin
actually
who didn't
seen
show
him.
up today.
I've seen him once or twice, but I've never officially sat down and talked to him. But I hear good things about
Yes.
him, and I want to give him a shout out. So I know he utilizes that property for a
Charlie's
lot of
the
things.
best.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Hector raved about him,
And he was
other
one of the
people.
ones that said, "I don't want to talk." They
Who?
asked him, Charlie Khalil.
Oh,
they
for-
asked him for an interview, and he said, "No, I don't want to talk."
No, he's a very humble
he stood,
man.
But yes, he is. He
Right.
stood behind the sidelines,
Right.
and he let everybody else take the recognition. But he's very good.
So be wary of the people who stand there for camera ops and just sit there and tell you everything they're doing all the time, every 5 minutes, and you know you got to question: are you like if you got to tell us that you do these things? Do we really? Are you really doing them? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just shouldn't have to tell
But
us
in
every
Tasha's
5
case,
minutes.
she's got to start letting people know what she's doing.
But I'm saying Tasha doesn't tell us. I'm saying the people that tell us over and over and email you their report card. no one's going to give themselves a bad grade on their own report card that they're sending out to you in your email blast.
Tasha, quick question. What county legislative district are you in?
The 17th.
And who's that?
Virginia Perez.
Okay.
That's nice.
I just wanted to get that out there.
She's actually the one that nominated me for the 17th County Legislative Women's Advisory Board. And George Latimer is the one that appointed me.
All right.
And I worked on
people
George
do
Latimer.
good stuff for people sometimes, especially when you do so much for them.
I worked on George Latimer's
supposed
campaign for free. Well, I volunteered. I can't say I
They're
worked
supposed
because I volunteered on a lot of campaigns that a lot of people didn't give me credit for. And I never, ever took any money at all. Never. I never asked. They never offered. And I felt like, you know, if they wanted me to work on a campaign, I did it for free. I never asked for nothing.
She did a lot. She does a lot of canvassing.
Yes.
A lot of going door to door and getting signatures.
That's what I want to talk about. First, shout Kenneth Chamberlain Jr. is tuned in, Rose Dixon, and Maurice. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Maurice E. So I want to talk to you about something that you've had experience with, and Damon and I often say it on the radio. The whole signature process when you are running for office and the importance of getting as many of the signatures personally yourself that you can vouch for. Talk about that, because you've had some experience with that, with signatures depending on someone else and all their signatures being thrown out that they got for you. So
I did a lot of canvassing thanks to my sister, my husband, my children. They were out with me nonstop. I worked day in, day out. I did get a lot of my own signatures, and they even took me to court for that. A lot of people don't know I was in the Supreme Court. $5,000 a week in court. Okay, over signatures, and for me to come in 87 short.
Damn,
okay, I had
like
to recollect
personal experience.
twice. I had to recollect twice.
Wow.
And still collecting twice. I came in with, I needed 425. I came in with 948. My opponent at the time claims he collected 1,600.
Who was that?
Sabatino. But he carried on the mayor's paper. And I'm not a math whiz, but I did the calculations roughly in my head. And I'm saying, if you collected 1,600 good signatures, I collected 948 within the district. We only overlapped 120 times. So that right there raised a red flag to me. If I really wanted to challenge his signatures, I could have, because I know all of them did not come from the appropriate district. But I didn't. I wanted democracy. So I said, okay, let him on the ballot. He's the incumbent. Let him on the ballot. Let the people choose. The last minute, he took me to court. And that was very sneaky because I was away burying my grandmother at that time. So they waited for me to leave Yonkers and go down to Virginia, and that's when they took me to court. I made it back just in time to go to court. When they called me that Friday, they said to me, you have to be in court. I said, okay, I'm ready. So they said, you're ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready. You have a lawyer? No, I don't have one. I have two.
Whoa.
Once they found that I had two lawyers, they were like, okay, well, this girl is like, she has everything in a row. We went to court. I got on a stand. I was found not guilty of collecting invalid signatures because that's what they tried to do. They tried to taint my name so I wouldn't go out and run again. Okay? It didn't work. I stood up there in court. Judge DeBella was the judge. He found me not guilty. Okay? But I was in court for a week. By that time, I didn't have enough time to go to the appellate court because I was going to take it to the appellate court. At that time, I didn't have enough time, and that's the game that they played. They lingered me in court for a week so that way I could run out of time. So I couldn't take them to a higher court because I know in my heart his signatures were not valid. I know it. Oh, yeah, also, I did a write-in. I did my research on write-ins. People have won on write-in votes.
Mm-hmm.
I did a write-in. By the time I went down there to collect, not even, by 3:30 that afternoon, all my machines from my district were confiscated. By 3:30, okay? They called the police. I went down there personally to vote, and other people went to vote and write my name in. They called the police department on me. I had to leave because they called the police department on me. They didn't want me to bring people down there to vote. Now, when I sent someone in at the end of the night to get the tally from the machine before they left the building and was confiscated, they said I had no votes. Now, I voted for myself, okay? And I know I brought people down here to vote for me. There was no votes casted under my name at all. That right there raised a red flag as well.
And also what Sabatino did, she collected signatures under her name Tasha Diaz because she's married. He says that she was given a false narrative of who she was because she said Diaz and her last name is really Freeman. So she had to go back after she collected Tasha Diaz signatures, which is her legit name. She had to go back and collect Tasha Freeman.
What name would you register
Diaz.
to vote as?
I was registered. That's another thing. Good point you brought that up. I was registered. I've been married for 19 years. So I've been registered under Tasha Diaz.
Oh, then that's what you go. That's what you collect the signatures for.
Yes, but they told me no.
Wait, who told you?
I was told that Sabatino made a call and said that I was misleading the district. So they had me go in. They said I had to go in and do my buff card over again and put Freeman Diaz.
Okay.
No, you
No,
didn't.
wait.
No.
But I want to know
they did a lot to her thing.
who told you that though. I know you said Sabatino called.
Who
but
from the
told you?
Board of Election
Yeah.
told you to do that?
I don't remember who exactly called me, but I did get a call from the Board of Elections stating that I had to go in and redo my buff card and do Freeman Diaz because Sabatino felt the way. They said Sabatino felt the way because my district is predominantly minority, that I will win against him with the Diaz last name. So I got a call that I had to go in and redo my buff card, which I did.
But didn't Reginald Lafayette agree with him?
I had the paperwork where I wrote a paper in stating that I was going under Tasha Diaz. Okay, when I went to court, Doug Colte went to court and he said, yes, she did hand that paper in. It was notarized. It was clocked in. Yes, I take the fault on that. Doug Colte said, I will take the fault.
But Doug Colte is the Republican chairman.
Right.
What did the
Because
Democrat
the Democrat
do?
wouldn't vouch for her. They wouldn't vouch.
Nothing.
He
They
wouldn't
wouldn't vouch
for
for
her.
me. Nothing.
So
no.
Reggie Lafayette did not step up for you?
No, he
Nothing?
did not. No. No, he did not. He said to me in
Reggie.
court, you have to get those 87 signatures validated.
Reggie.
He said to me in court, you have to get the signatures that you previously collected validated in order to get on the ballot. That's how I was 87 signatures short.
That's bullshit.
Yes, I was 87.
Well,
they said I was 87.
well, if you
and
running
then they
this
used
time-
that against me in court. They used that against me in court after they told me I had to go in and change my name to Freeman Diaz. They used that against me in court. They actually went to court and said, look, she went in there and she changed her buff card. But that's what I was told to do. Also, I had voter registration forms where I registered new voters or people that were in the district and never updated their address.
Right.
They were still valid. I went to court. They took those right out of my hand. Till this day, I have never seen them again. Those were my permanent copies. Everything that I handed into the Board of Elections, I had copies of. When I went to court, the judge took them from me, and I never seen them again.
Well, you got to understand this, right? And not say it, right? When you dealing with it, it's a stacked deck against anyone who's trying to change the system.
Yep.
When they're going into the court and you're going against the party,
Yep.
because the party is the one that put these fucking judges in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they make these decisions based on their relationship with the party. It is what it is. See, and I think there needs to be some judicial review on how they do this when it comes to elections, because no judge. I think all that should be done in federal court. Shouldn't be done in local court, right? Because it's all biased, right?
Yes.
They all have a conflict of interest, because if you know what, I just had a drink with Reggie the other day, right? It's all cool, but I know, how is that judge going to go against the Democratic chair?
You know what? I want to say something too. I was told
I have a problem with that.
from somebody close to a county chair, someone who works for the county chair. I'm not saying which county chair, because they work for him now. So they will go in, and when it's judges that they help put in office, they backed, they will go in and they will just sit down.
That's
and
it.
the side that they sit on is the side that the judge rules on.
Well, first of all,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to say
actually
nothing.
watched them after the court
Listen,
case was
let's keep
over.
it 100. The Independence Party chair told us that. He'll go in the court and sit on whatever side and give a message. So it is what it is. I mean, we understand how this thing works.
I've done that for family members.
After court was
Right.
adjourned, I watched them go in the back. I watched them go in the back after court was adjourned.
Sometimes, some of these cases are already discussed even before it gets
Yes.
to the court
Of
date.
course.
And I know
Well-
that for a fact because when I went to my lawyer, there was a call made. I don't know who he got the call from. I could call my lawyer, Ezra Glaser. And they said she didn't make it. And he said, well, how are you going to call and say she didn't make it? They already knew before I went to court, I didn't make it. They knew that before I even got there. So there was a call already made. And there was a lot of things that I tried to do throughout the community when I was running. I got a lot of donations from Toys R Us for babies, up and coming mothers. I mean, I had breast pumps. We all know breast pumps are expensive.
This one
I
pisses
had
me off
breast
so
pumps.
much.
I had clothes. I had walkers. I had cribs, brand new in a box. I had toddler beds, brand new. Diapers, wipe, you name it, I had it. Okay? I went to do a giveaway at the Y. The day of my giveaway, I get a phone call to tell me, you can't do it. And I said, why? Because Sabatino called us and told us that you were coming down here to give things away, and we don't want to piss him off. So, no, you can't have it here.
He actually threatened to pull their funding. That's why they didn't want to do that.
And who called you?
From the Y?
Yes.
At that time, it was Sean Howard called me. She called me.
They told us the
And she
Sean
said,
Patterson,
yes,
Howard?
Yes,
They
she
told us
called
the
me.
flyers could have nothing
I had
political
flyers
on
and
them.
everything. I
She
handed
had
it all.
a political star in the corner. Nothing advertising that she was running. She wasn't saying it was only for people in the district.
So he's really scared of you.
Yeah, but guess
Yeah.
what? He's not running again.
It was a witch
He's
hunt.
trying to get to overturn term limits so that he
Nobody
can
would
run
give
again.
him any
Oh, yeah,
But
he-
he's
signatures.
time
So
limited out.
he's gonna back the mayor on the
I think
turning over the
I really think I if the people of Yonkers vote for any candidate that overturns the term limit, then you get what the fuck you get, right? It's a damn shame, and I'm saying it on the radio show, and I hope we end up talking about it when we on WVOX. If anybody votes and put these people back in that will rule to overturn the term limits, shame on you, Yonkers. Shame on you, Democrats. That will allow this, right? Now they have threatened to lay off 400, 600 people, right? Now if y'all fools vote for these people after they overturn term limits, then you deserve to get laid off.
These are self-serving politicians.
You deserve to get laid off if it comes down to it because you put them back in office.
And I can tell you the reason why I decided to run. There was issues going on not only in my building but throughout my community with housing. And I went to Sabatino personally. I went to him. And he said to me, okay, I'll come out to your meetings. When he came out to my meetings, he sat there. I had everything. I still have everything. I laid it in his lap. You know what he said to me? You got good points and you're on the right track. You need to go to the news, but don't tell them that I sent you.
Yeah.
And I have witnesses that will vouch for that because they were standing there.
That's because he didn't want to do his
Okay,
job.
I wanna.
See, but now you know what's changed now? See,
Damon is in the house.
well, not only that. Not only that. What's changed is that social media, you could just go live. You ain't got to worry about News 12.
Right. You can get your words in.
And that you know when we had to blow up the African American Day festival for not allowing Jamani to speak, you know, I got just as many viewers as they had at the damn. So the whole thing is social media is going to change, and you got right on your side, you know, and it's just like it just it's dysfunctional.
And the first thing they asked me when I was running, where do you work? That right there lets me know you were trying to mess with my money.
Well, they always do that,
Where do you work? That was the first thing. Where do you work?
right?
And I
because-
said I don't work anywhere in Yonkers, so it's nothing that you can do to me.
I want to shout out Simone Salam.
yes,
Yusuf Salam's mom. She's one of the Central Park Five. She's listening, And I want to ask.
Respect,
I want to
respect.
change. I want to ask. When I see these things, I gotta ask. So somebody on your page said, "Stop playing. Tell them that your cousin is a hip hop legend." Who's your cousin?
Oh, yes, he is. He's from Mount Vernon, actually. Anthony Blackman.
Okay.
He does beats.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, he need to throw a fundraiser for you.
Yes. Yep.
He need to throw a fundraiser. That's how you get,
Yes,
you get
Anthony
the word out.
Blackman. He's awesome. When it comes down to beat, he's awesome.
Okay. That's what's up. Yo, we're coming to the close of the show. In the next 5 or 10 minutes, if you have a question for Mount Vernon Councilman Andre Wallace or community organizer Tasha Diaz, call 718-705-4959, 718-705-4959. Make your comment or question brief, and we'll get you on.
While we're waiting, can I just repeat real quickly that we got a letter from the Lions Club?
Yes.
Repeat that.
We got a letter from the Lions Club in Puerto Rico. There's a region in Puerto Rico where the area is completely destroyed. They still have no resources, and they've got 100 kids. They actually don't have shoes, but what they're looking for is for school supplies. 100 kids in Puerto Rico are in need of school supplies, and we got a letter from the Lions Club asking if there's anything we can do to help. So if there's anyone that's willing to contribute, it doesn't matter.
I will gladly donate.
It doesn't matter. We already have Galata House, Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement, and Yonkers Fire Department all willing to donate. And now we have Tasha Diaz.
Yes, I will gladly donate.
And
The more we do, the merrier. It doesn't have to be 100 stuff you give us. It could be 50 pencils. They're $1. They're only $1.
What other thing? I know you said that. So name some things like no pencils. What other items?
They need Elmer's glue.
The composition notebook.
Composition notebooks, the black and white ones, pencils, sharpeners, erasers, pens,
Rulers. Any rulers?
and rulers. Rulers. They don't use loose leaf. They use composition notebooks. The A2 per student.
Okay.
What else did you see? You saw it though.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. They didn't really ask for backpacks. We can give backpacks and stuff like that, but they wasn't asking for the big stuff. They're only asking for the necessities right now.
So anybody who's listening that's a People Before Politics follower, and you would like to email us at blackwestchester@gmail.com. I will put you in touch with everybody that you need to be in touch with and give you whatever numbers you need to get. Let me know what you can do, and
they start school August 1st, so
we'll
within this next week it'll be
we'll
great
work
if
out
we can get any donations.
place for you to drop them off or be picked up from you. So
right in your house.
Okay, so again, if anybody has any phone calls, any questions, the phone lines are open 718-705-4959. Make sure you check out the July issue. And I wanted to thank you too for spreading the paper for us,
no
taking a couple of stacks, for getting them out to areas that I don't get to. It's it's just a couple of us and we do it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's
the Southwest side is taking care of for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Mo Better. I'm gonna give it to Paul Hudson.
Who is Mo Better that you keep mentioning?
Oh, she's the assistant president. And I helped them start the attendance association, actually.
Okay.
You need a lot of people in the attendance association.
Did she get the nickname
Those
from Mo Better Blues?
Mo,
the movie? Did she get the nickname from the movie?
I don't know.
The Mo Better.
Yeah,
Mo
the
Better.
Mo Better
That's all they were talking
project.
about. Let's do the Mo Better.
And she donates. She collects socks and things, and she donates. I actually helped them start the attendance association, along with Miss Baker, and I also helped 100 Harriet start the attendance association.
Those are big buildings she's talking about.
Yes.
100 Harriet, 7383,
It's a huge building.
108 Jackson. Those are like big, giant one building projects. Like
Question for you. Brandy Nickel, Lorraine Lopez, I will collect and donate. Puerto Rico.
All right, Brandy, thank you. You can
ShopRite,
hit me up directly, Brandy.
And she said ShopRite has a great sale on school supplies this week, 50 cents, etc., for people to go to and get this stuff.
Thank you, Brandy.
And she also said, yes, we finally have a real newspaper. Thank you. And Damon, Jerome
She's a
L. Rice is
big
tuned
community
in.
activist, Brandy.
Jerome Rice.
Hey, what's happening?
And Peter Senor Guapo Davison.
Hey, what's up, Peter?
Yeah. Those Damon's people. Yeah.
He wants to run, doesn't he?
Who?
Peter Guapo? Didn't
Oh.
he say something about he wanted to run for
Nah,
a position?
yeah, he was talking about running for the union. He should run for president. I'm going to put it out there right now. Nah, I don't know if he's running. I'm just messing with him. I don't know if he's running or not. But yeah, we have to have a talk. People are saying that unions are in trouble now. That Janet's decision. But I really think unions need to
Reorganize?
Yeah. They need to reorganize. You have some good union presidents. You have some bad union presidents, and I think the reorganization would keep the good ones and allow union members to get rid of the bad ones.
No, wait. A question for Andre, but I don't think so. Wait. Says Andre, wasn't the mayor the chairman of DPW when he was on? Oh, you mean over DPW when he was on the city council 2012 to 2016. Why now is this a priority? What efforts did he take to fix the water?
Nothing.
When he was on the chair?
Nothing. That's a simple thing. What bothers me is that he had all the efforts. If this was, if he was an active council person doing his job as a council person, this situation could have been addressed back then. He sat there over this situation for 4 years and done nothing. And then as 2 more years as mayor, 2.5 years, and done nothing. So you had 6.5 years to do something and still done nothing.
So he was the chair over DPW and over the mayor's office.
Correct. He was the chair over the mayor's office as well. And I don't see any letters that he's done in the past or anything, pointing out that he has done something or addressed the situation. But, he continues to say it's my fault from back then. I wasn't there. He was. So, people just need to read and just take a moment to think. Sometimes don't always just blurt out any old thing when you hear something, and question it. Even when you look at what the mayor is putting out there, stop for a second and go, you know what? Let me hear what the other side is. My father used to say the same thing all the time. He used to say there's the right side. No, there's his side, your side, and then the truth.
The truth, right.
And somewhere in between it lies, So you have to really take a moment and just think about what's going on.
A conversation I had with Ty Milburn from News 12 after one of the press conferences, he was saying, you gotta talk to like 15 people to almost get to the truth of what's going on in Mount Vernon. Lorraine.
Yes.
You gotta talk to like 15 people.
Margaret Bradbury said, "Is there a link to this donation effort?" And then she put a sign that says money to help with the shipping.
I don't understand the question.
Is there a link? Is there a link?
You're the link, bro.
I'm the link.
Yes.
Black Westchester.
No, you know what? Tonight we'll create a link.
We'll create a link on blackwestchester.com.
You have to letter.
No, we'll create a link.
We'll create a link.
I don't know. I don't even know how to link a link.
Don't worry about it. We got it.
We will create a link.
I'm off tonight.
On Black Westchester.
I got to do a lot of things.
On
Black. All right, my God.
We will create a letter on blackwestchester.com. The letter will be posted.
Yes, please.
And then you can, on that link, you can click and make your donations. And we'll go from there. Thank you, Brenda, who actually put up the bio to your cousin. Record producer, disc jockey, live performances, Tomorrowland Ultra Music Festival, and has hits Incredible and Toka with Timmy, Trumpet, and other stuff. She posted the link to you.
Brenda
she posted the link.
We need to revamp the internet. You need to have like Wikipedia and Brenda Crump.
Right.
Because when you want to find out facts and all of that stuff, And there's many times I speak to Brenda Crump about certain things, and she would be like, well, is that a fact, Councilman Wallace, or is that something you saying?
Right.
Well, you go back and show me where you got that fact from, and then come back and tell me, but she will not post or talk about anything unless it's a fact.
I want to.
No, and that's what
most people need to do.
And that's what Black Westchester is about. And speaking on facts,
I want to talk about what happened to her, because I didn't do that, and I just want to briefly.
That was a shame.
Briefly, she was covering the press conference. The mayor had the city council had a conference, and the mayor had a conference afterwards, and she was there covering it for Black Westchester, and she was verbally assaulted and threatened. And Black Westchester will not have any of our representatives, any representatives of ours, threatened or attacked by anyone. And we will stand behind them to the fullest, no matter who is doing the attacking. So several people, including Deborah Reynolds' corny-ass husband, and yes, I said it, said, "Oh, everybody want to be a reporter now," and he said, "Look, I got a phone. I'm a reporter now," and disrespected Brenda when she was trying to get a quote from her right after Deborah won. And I told him she represented Black Westchester. So if anybody does not know and did not know, when Brenda Crump is out broadcasting live, she is representing Black Westchester, and you've heard it from me,
which is a legit news organization.
Right. So you've heard it from me. So anybody who disrespects Brenda now is disrespecting Black Westchester.
Exactly.
And that's all I want to say real quick. We won't get into the details. You can read the story. It's on there. You can watch the video on there. I'm not going to hashtag. I just wanted to be known. Brenda goes out representing. She donated her time, and she helps us get the news, and she represents us when she's out there.
She doesn't take sides.
Right, and she doesn't take sides, and she's very fact-oriented,
100%
and we will not have anybody that's representing Black Westchester be disrespected, threatened, or verbally attacked.
Exactly.
And we will, and you will have the full power of Black Westchester coming after you.
And I just want to, since we're talking about facts, I really wanted to reiterate what I said earlier, about this issue about Joseph Spezio III. The confessed federal informant.
Don't talk about him on this show while I'm here. I got to go.
Well, you got to step
because
outside.
I'm going to get another death threat after this.
Well, yeah, and I'm saying this directly to Mr. Spezio. If you feel that anything is false in what we wrote, take us to court. I would love to go to court and put you on the stand with everything that you've done to people in Mount Vernon. I would love to put you on the stand. Take us to court so I could bring the auto recordings and we could bring the paperwork on what you have done in the last 2 years in Mount Vernon, and the issue of you being a prime suspect in an arson investigation that's currently open.
Still ongoing.
It's still ongoing. And if you fuck with my wife, bro,
there we go.
You're going to have a problem. Be a man. Come at me. I'm saying it on the radio show. I'm saying it clear. We put this out there so the people can know that you are a fraud. You are a fraud. You fugazi. So if you got a problem, come at Black Westchester. Come at us. Don't do things to women, because that's a real cowardly act. So I'm calling you out like a man on the radio show. And I know I know a lot of your little minions are listening. So and it's good. Because I want them to know that. I want them to know that. See, I think that people in Mount Vernon are still in some type of trance, because the things that happen in the people won't happen in any other neighborhood. And it's gonna continue to the point where somebody's gonna get really hurt. Somebody's gonna get physically hurt. That what happened with Brenda, unnecessary, right? How many times or these so-called minions of Joe Spezio is going to go around and try to hurt people, and nothing's going to happen? Somebody's going to get seriously hurt. And I told that to the AG's office. I'm going to repeat again. I told that to the AG's office. They better do something or someone's going to get hurt.
18 times. That's 18 death threats I got.
Right, 18 death threats.
As a counselor.
Listen, let me tell you something.
18.
You only got to give me one death threat, and I'm coming knocking on your door. So whoever, you only got to give me one.
Well, we can't trace that line back. To
And I'm coming and knocking at your door. So, you know, all this stuff got to cease, man. Y'all ain't no gangsters. You ain't no gangster. I already talked to some cats connected to the mob. You're nobody. So, come on, man. Enough is enough. But if you really think what we wrote is false, then take us to court. Let's settle it out in the open. Who you really are, what you really are. You know, and people in Mount Vernon need to step up because you're being totally disrespected. Totally disrespected. That's all I gotta say.
That's it.
From the mind of David K. Jones.
That's it.
Black by popular demand. Yeah. So we coming to the close of the show. Last, if anybody wants food, how do they get in touch with you?
They could reach me on Facebook, Tasha Diaz.
Okay. Good luck with, if you are running, please come back and we'll definitely have you back on. We love to still hear about the stuff you're doing. Anything you need us to help get the word out, please let us know.
Thank you.
Lorraine, one last time, you're doing what and how do they do it? And
collecting, what am I? Collecting school supplies for children.
In Puerto Rico. Okay.
So when is hold on, before we get to Andre, so if you run, when will it be, this November or next?
It will be next year.
Okay.
We got a lot of time.
Yeah, we got a lot of time.
Councilman Wallace, last words for the people.
You know, if you want to be informed, you know, follow the mayor's orders and come out to city council, and we'll be there to inform you guys on Wednesday. So anybody that want to find out what the situation is and get some handouts and learn the truth, we're welcome. We're welcoming you all.
And the city council meeting for those in Mount Vernon, for some reason,
7 o'clock on Wednesday. If you want to speak, you can sign up and before 2 o'clock. And
call the clerk's office.
Call the clerk's office. Put your name on the list.
Okay. Last comment from the public. Louise said he is an embarrassment to all Italians. Spezia. Go ahead.
That's it.
Last word, David. Even though you just had the last word, but
no, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody coming on the show, and you know, Tasha, she's doing great work in Yonkers, and she's future leader in Yonkers. She's doing good things now, but we're gonna get her in that seat, and she's gonna do great things from the seat. That's what it's all about.
And I'm gonna say straight up, I was told that Native might not show up because of Spano. And if that's the case, thank you for not showing up so we have more time to spend with Tasha.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, whoa. So he didn't show up because of Spano? That's the rumor? I hope
there's a possibility.
Why? So Spano got
connected because he's connected to Spano. So it's a possibility Spano's people told him not to come.
Then that meeting,
that's
don't
a possibility.
Even worry about having it.
We'll find out for sure, but that's what the rumor was.
With me and Seda?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then dead it.
Yeah, okay. Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, screw him.
Thank you for everybody who tuned in.
And who's his opponent? That's what I want to meet with.
What's his name? He was here.
The Black Republican. That'd be on CNN. That's one of them.
Right.
That's one of them.
Him and Ivy Reeves.
Dr. Bob loves him.
Yeah, because he's a commentator.
Ivy Reeves running? I like Ivy Reeves, too.
Yep, Ivy Reeves is running, too.
Okay. Well, now you know who's running.
She got any money?
And no, next week we
gotta have some money.
Next week what, Lorraine? Next week what?
Well, Sabatino fired her.
He did. He fired Ivy Reeves?
He was,
yes.
He
next week, hold on.
Y'all are more. Jesus Christ.
Keep telling you I need to come to Yonkers.
We need a Yonkers issue.
Next week we have Hudson Valley. Go ahead. The Hudson Valley person. Luis.
Valley Progressive.
Is your people cool? Yeah. And the Latino National Republic Coalition.
Yes, the chair of the Latino. One is Democrats that are pro immigration. The other one is not.
A Latino that's against immigration.
We got a Latino that's a Trumper. That's coming.
Really?
A Trump.
When they get pulled over and get deported. Andre, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And then closing. So I figured out the real story about this whole Trump immigration thing. So when he's done with his wife, he just have it deported. It's cheaper than divorce.
No, you know what? It's bigger than that.
That's a joke that I've been wanting to tell for the longest.
It's about the browning of America.
Yes,
We're going to talk
yes,
about
yes,
that
yes.
one day. It's about the browning of America, and the way they could at least stop part of it is keep people from coming in.
Absolutely.
Black and brown people.
And with that said, you could be doing anything, but you decided to ride with us, and we greatly appreciate it. This is Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday, 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. Don't forget to get that July 2018 issue, and we're still taking ads for the August 2018 one-year anniversary issue right now. Contact us at blackwestchester@gmail.com. Until next week, peace.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.